All right. Welcome, everybody. My name is Jonathan Tripp. If you have never watched this show before, well, this is episode 22. And today we're going to be talking about, hold on, wait. I'm sorry. Before we even get to that, happy National Donut Day, right? I think that's a thing. No, it is a thing. If you can go out to like Dunkin' Donuts, I know they're doing a big thing. Not that I condone eating lots of donuts. However, though, if you're going to make it a day, you might as well do it. So anyway, guys, this is episode 22. Last week, we missed an episode. The internet wizards that were out there just made sure that it wasn't going to happen today. So, you know what? It is what it is. What are you going to do, right? So here's the thing. I've got this all set up today so that if it just doesn't go, too bad. We live on. But today, let's talk about, we've got a couple of things in the docket here. I just got to make sure I'm actually getting the right title today. Last week, we were going to talk about Instagram stories, growing your Instagram stories. I wanted to switch it up because of a title that kind of came up this week. And I have a feeling this actually may go into the after chat, which you're welcome to join. I think David Vaughn is going to make that happen today. I think he's going to do it. I'm not sure. But here's the thing, right? It's still episode 21 on the show card, but it should social media be in background checks, and I wanted just to kind of put this out there because, you know what, I don't know how I feel about it. I got to talk this out today. But in the meantime, though, would you all please just do me a favor quick and share this out and share our broadcast out today, guys. I'd really appreciate it. It would be actually kind of fun to have some friends and be able to just talk about this. But also, we are going to be talking about some Instagram. We're going to be talking about some Facebook moderating, Skype, and Reddit. It's Reddit today. I think that's actually a first. We're actually going to be talking about that. So anyway, guys, please share this out. Hey guys, right, let's do this off right. Welcome, this is Talk Social News, and I actually do have a show card for this if it ever wants to just come up, and it's supposed to come up, but you know what? It doesn't always do that kind of stuff, but guess what? So there's Talk Social News. This is what we're going to be talking. Let me try to get down, but I want to first say thank you to everybody that's watching. William Slays, I see. Bethany Chad, good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Terry, and regrettably, but also wonderfully, David Vaughn. Thank you guys for watching us. And anybody that's watching us on Periscope, or I know I broadcast this out to YouTube for a couple reasons. It saves me a lot of upload time. To be honest, I just put it right out there. It saves me a ton of upload time for doing these things. But anyway, here, how do you like the Canadian Canadian goose? Here, let me see if I can do this like this, right? There's the mugshot for the day. Man, this thing is not a very big coffee mug. I've already refilled it about 3 times today. I don't know if you can figure that out. But I've been into coffee today. But thank you guys for watching. Let's see here. Terry Parrish, thank you guys for watching. I was just catching up with some of the comments today. All right, let's kind of just go down some of what's going on with Talk Social News. Okay, I just have a short list, and I'm gonna hit this because, again, remember, this is actually supposed to be a short 30 minutes. And I've already missed my first CTA for the day. I'll just be honest. I went straight into the coffee. I went straight into the National Donut Day. But guys, we have to talk about my number one, my most favorite social media platform ever conceived by man, or anybody else by that matter, because I'm not sure if Mark Zuckerberg is a man anymore. Instagram. This is something that I have been waiting for. I first saw it on Gary V's Instagram stories and things like this. It's the slide up feature. How many miles have you guys scrolled with your thumb? Well, we want to add on a little bit more. Maybe is this being like, having cardio? I don't know if that considers having cardio. just the thumb exercises. But the slide up DM on Instagram, I almost said Snapchat. It doesn't work that way. On Instagram, you can slide up. They've just released this feature out. It actually was last week or so. I have tested it a couple times. It is kind of fun. I gotta say, I like it. I ran out of time. I was actually doing a video, and the Facebook timer says you have like 90 seconds, or like you have 100 and something seconds left. And so I was like, we'll get into it after this. But I really do plan on using this because you know what? I really like Instagram and the way that it connects. It's super easy, even though, how many of you guys read the study? And I think it was either in Forbes or TechCrunch, or I don't remember maybe it was The Verge. I don't remember where someone had, there's a study out that says Instagram is responsible or is the most depressing social media platform for teens. And I honestly, like, I just saw the headline. It did kind of make me sad. Just thinking like, wow, is that really what Instagram has done? Is that where it's going? And I hope not. I am going to go back. I'm going to post that article. I'm going to post that in Live Talk Nation. As just because I'd really like to get some of your guys' feedback on that. Is that really actually how Instagram's coming across to teenagers, that it's now the most depressing? Or is it they're all pretty much equally depressing? Maybe it's just Instagram's just a little bit more stuff. Because I know as a parent, and I've got kids, and I do understand the dangers and the concerns that parents should have over just social media in general. But this particular headline really caught my attention, and it's something that I do want to go back to and really think about, because I think as parents, we need to, we're trying to help shape and try to help guide and grow up our kids not to be adults right then as the 8, 9, 10, 13, even 16-year-old. We're trying to guide them in a way that's going to help them be social. Help them be grown-ups as they use social media. So here's the deal, right? As we now have social media and things like this, and I can't even see right now some of the comments that are coming up, but I guarantee you the hashtag Instagram is the devil has been used at least once, because I do have some notes over here, and I have to, because otherwise I can't keep track. There's too many headlines. But anyway, the social media, Instagram, the DM, the slide up feature is a new link out. And guys, I'd love to hear how you want to use it, or how maybe you think that you can use it. So that would be awesome, actually, to see. All right, this is something I'm not going to get into today really deep, but I did want to mention it. Last week, Facebook, there was a leak of some internal documents. Like, that's never happened before with any sensitive material ever. But there's been a leak on the moderator and things like this on the processes, the procedures, and really long and detailed notes on how Facebook is intending or plans on moderating some of the content that's put out there. And they've really come under a lot of flack and for being slow to react on things like this, and on different live videos, and on different I think it's been, there's been live shootings and murders and things like this, and they get put down, but then people also then they snag the videos and then they upload them in different places, and Facebook's just really slow on how they moderate or how they control or take down that type of content. It extends to hate speech. It extends also now in a very sad way, revenge porn, and that has become. And I hope that they've really kind of curbed it for several reasons, but just the damage that it can do, not just to those being portrayed, but also to the watchers. And again, I'm going to come back to as parents. I tend to view Facebook as one of the more safe places for younger viewers to be, but I would really hate to see that it's actually a very dangerous place. But it's still, as parents, we need to be careful. And then also, you have to think about it like this. Also, as employers and employees, do you really want to be on a social platform? Do you want to be browsing on your social platform in a way that would have that kind of content possibly come up? Imagine just you're just surfing on your phone or something like this, swiping up and scrolling, and then this comes across just as your supervisor, just as your employer, or maybe even just as one of your employees kind of walk by and they see that come across your screen. It's embarrassing. and just on so many levels. And so, I think it's a big problem, and Facebook is still really struggling with it, even now, with just those ideas of how do we get around that? Like, how do we actually handle it? And I don't think the answer is just throwing more money at it or just hiring some more people. I think it's really going to come down to a lot of the processes and the way that they're actually going to, in tangible terms, boots on the ground, actually moderate this content. And by the way, I don't think, 2,500, 3,000, 5,000 people are enough to moderate 1.9 billion users on Facebook. So. Also, last week, it kind of rolled out, and I think the first game for Twitter Live for MLB, there we go, MLB rolled out. I think it was the 30th, so it was a couple days ago now, I think 3 or 4 days ago now, where it was being broadcast on Facebook without blackouts, and also on Twitter, which I thought that was kind of cool. I really do. I think that was really kind of cool. I think it's the right way, because I think more people are actually are wanting. They're watching it on their mobile. They're watching it while they're doing other things. Because I mean, unless I actually have time to go out to the ballpark, which, by the way, is not that often. It's not as often as I think they would want, but if you don't have time to go out and you still want to watch the game, you can do that. Now, also, in addition to that, they've got a couple other, it's called The Dugout. It's like a 3-hour breakdown, discussion, all those kind of things. And I think that's good that they're building content around stuff that people actually want to watch. Finally. It's not just a movie that they just kind of put out there. It's not just like another talk show. It's something, I mean, we know, and not everybody likes baseball, but there's enough people. I think the Facebook page for Major League Baseball has like 6.7 million likes on it, which, by the way, if you go over there and then you click on the left side, you see where likes, you'll see it's been a 0% growth, though. They don't have any more new likes, even though they've been doing all this. Maybe there's a problem with the way that they're trying to reach their audience and just hoping that live broadcast will do it. Kind of sounds like a lot of other businesses where they just figure that, hey, if I just go live, it'll grow my business. Guys, that's not how it works. And I think that Twitter, as well as Facebook, are going to learn, and are learning the hard way, that just because you put a live video out there doesn't mean that people are going to watch it. And now I'm starting to sound like a whole bunch of other people that I know. But anyway, guys, that's the live sports thing. But even though as much crap as I'm giving them right now, I actually think that there's a lot to be said for going into sports and broadcasting live sports. I do. And I can't wait to see actually how this really rolls out over the next coming weeks, because there's a whole bunch of games scheduled. So pick your poison, whether you want to watch it on Twitter, or do you want to watch it on Facebook, or maybe do you want to pay and then you can watch it on their on their paid channel. So guys, here's another little update. Facebook lets you now add not only just photos to your albums, it's allowing you to add posts to your albums. I think it's a really kind of a cool little thing that they've decided to add up, because guess what? Now they're creating another way for you to add content and to draw people in, and it's just another place. We saw that this past week there was a big internet trending report, and by the way, thank you for all the hearts on Periscope. I love them. One of the things that we saw this week come out was an internet trending report. And we saw that last year, Facebook grew, like, the ad revenue grew like 62%, or some outrageous, ridiculous number. And this year, we're seeing that to be a slight bit of a slow from year to year. But what I think is happening with Facebook, they're adding these little, keeping you more engaged, these little extra things to keep you in. So we're going to add so that you can now add posts to your past albums to keep people going deep, and then watching and seeing and reviewing old content that you've already put out. Oh, that's very interesting, because that really falls right in line with how their Facebook is actually changing the way that they're allowing you to use the platform. It's not just a, hey, connect with my best friend, or like, hey, I haven't seen my high school buddy for 20 some odd years. No, it can't be 20 years, is it? It is 20 years. But they want to connect with your friends and whether it's far, near, someone down the street, across the globe. They're making Facebook a place that you can actually really connect and I think they feel able to go meet with are trying to get better at it. It's kind of cool. Don't much as a telephone form. It's just the tool that I use to connect over. I want to use Reddit that much, but Reddit actually this in Reddit making it more of a social platform, not just a question answer or like get an opinion poll kind of a platform. Now I say that not being I am not an experienced Reddit user. I'm not. It's just not what I do. It's not what I'm interested in. And when we get into those conversations about talking about like what social platforms you're going to be on, what things you're going to do, like how many times a day do you check your email, Reddit goes into the really super low priority for me. I don't check it that often. Like I'm not sitting on CNN's webpage trying to figure out how much how many articles I can read in the day. No, I don't. It's super low. But I do think that it's really interesting that Reddit, which in many ways is kind of like one of those subcultures, and we're seeing that a lot now. And if you haven't already figured out that a lot of the small guys, a lot of the subcultures are actually gaining they're doing such a good job of creating a culture within that online community that even though they don't necessarily, everybody sees eye to eye on everything, or they have exactly the same kind of interest, they are joining together, they are doing very similar things, and the community growth, and whoever the community growth manager on that is, kudos to you guys, because you guys, and I think of Twitch as well, they're getting together, and they are making a place where people can interact with awesome content that's real content. And by the way, guys, if you've ever tried to search for something and you're using like those weirdo, you try to type out your question and Google comes back with some crazy answer that has nothing to do with what you want. Facebook is really not much more of a help. Go over to Reddit. Try using that, because you know one of the best things about Reddit is that real people are actually writing the response and they're not SEOing. And that's another word I think I just made up. Thank you, Scott Gumbar. SEOing the the titles and the questions and stuff like this. And I think that's a really big benefit that smaller sub niche actually provides real question askers for their searches. So, guys, I think that's about it. I don't think, oh, no, there is one more, and it was hiding. I just scrolled down a little bit. One more. Twitter. How many of you guys have seen this? And I actually haven't seen this, and I was going to check it this morning. I ran out of time this morning between making coffee. But Twitter adds direct message request review. Now, from what I understand about this is very much just like Facebook's message review, except I hope it's not like 18 layers down, 3 tabs over, and I never see it, and I check it maybe once a month when I happen to say, oh, look at that. I forgot that option was there. Facebook makes it so hard to get to that I forget. So if you're in there, I really wish that they would just bring it up as like a pop-up, like, hey, you have a message to review. That would be awesome for me. However, Twitter is going to be doing something, and it is doing something that's very similar. It's just allowing you to review the post before it's acknowledged and before it kind of gets in there, so that you can hopefully weed out some of the spam, weed out maybe some of the more offensive posts, because I mean, Twitter is such a friendly and easy and safe place to be on for social media, and nobody ever gets harassed there ever at all. I don't know, but I hope that this is yet another safeguard that they're trying to put in, another feature that users are looking to kind of keep things safe. That'd be awesome. I really appreciate it. So now, having said that, I do want to get into what is our next is the topic for the day. Okay, so here's the deal with all this. All right, so I want to talk just real quick about, should social media be in your background check? I mean, really, seriously. I saw this as an article where now, and it was brought up as the social media accounts are being added as part of the background checks for immigration. Okay. So we're not, this is not an immigration debate. What it is, it reminds me a lot of when you go in for an interview, and the employer, at one point, the employer was asking for username and like password. They want to go in and check. They want to go in and see what you're doing. And that was quickly ruled as like, no, you can't do that. And then they said, okay, well, at least we want to see where you are on social media, because we just want to make sure that you're the kind of person that we want. And even then, like, I don't really know how I really feel about that. Because guess what? If you want to do a background check, look, I'll give you my name, my address, and things like this. And as long as there's got to be some laws protecting us, okay? So here's the deal. I think it's perfectly okay for an employee or an employer to understand and know who they're hiring. I think that's a good practice. I mean, if the roles were reversed, would you want to make sure that you knew the person that you're hiring, not just the fact that they can do X, Y, Z, but they're going to consistently do it, and that they can actually put some tangible proof behind it. Okay, not just a LinkedIn profile, which by the way is kind of awesome sometimes, but this is where I'm going to go with it. So in the U.S., we see how they're adding social media as part of. Look, let's just make sure you are who you are. But now they're going to add it as part of the immigration. I'd love to hear how you guys think about it and what you guys see. Is that like an invasion? Is that going too far? Or do you think it's just a complete waste of time? Because I'm going to bet that there's a lot more underneath that. Because it's not just the social media. Because I don't think they just want to make sure that Jonathan Tripp actually has a Twitter account. I don't think that they want to do that. They want to know who Jonathan Tripp is, who are the people he's connected with, what are those people doing? Because don't you already think that big data, big brother, as it were, also knows all of the, they already know how to connect all of those dots. They want to see who they know to be a danger, or who already has the red flag, so to speak, connecting with potential. And is that somebody that we need to worry about? Is it something? Is there criminal activity, or has it been known for? Now, the problem with this argument, and by the way, this isn't just simply how I feel about it. I think the problem with this argument is that it almost presupposes that immigration, or those that are immigrating, have a criminal background. That's the way that this is being portrayed. I don't that's not concerns me really is that it does seem to frame that we need to ask those questions on the outright, and that it's presupposed that criminal activity is something that is a given. And I just know that that's just simply not a fact. We need to do a better job, both in the U.S. just as an immigration policy. But what was really interesting is that is that how we're going to be using social media? Is that really what social media has become? See, in Europe, how many of you guys know that this, I think it was the last 2 weeks, Europe, just somebody in Europe, I think it was Sweden, fined, I think it was each like though, as though they're participating, supporting, because it's almost like being held socially accountable on a social media platform, that even though you're not actually present at a rally or at a protest, holding a sign, holding the microphone, saying the words, but you just clicking the like button makes you equally a part of the movement. But isn't that kind of how we use it anyway? Just the majority of us tend to think of it in terms of, I do like this positive thing. I like the farmer's market. I like the kid's birthday party. I really like Major League Baseball. I really like WWE. And I don't know where WWE came from. But do you see how now the social media platforms are starting to get into, it's really actually starting to become very tangible. It's actually becoming really something that we need to be thinking about because it's real. And the way that we use social media is accountable, not just as employers and employees, not just as business owners, not just as friends and family, and as even as parents. So guys, I think we need to be thinking about how are we really going to be using social media, and what are the things and ways that we're going to be making sure that we're using it responsibly and for the greater good. All right, guys. With that, I actually have just two things that I needed to say because you know what? I forgot. I totally screwed up today's show. Today I had some things in my mind and I wanted to say it. But guys, the last thing I really do want to say, though, is just a couple things. One, if you haven't already joined Live Talk Nation, please do so. I will get a lower third with that and throw it in the mix next week. But please do join Live Talk Nation. You can find it on Facebook. We do have a couple other places if that's where you like it. Also, jonathantripp.live. This show is actually broadcast at that location as well. Please sign up for the newsletter. I promise you won't regret because I don't spam. That's not the way we work. But even though maybe some other people do, guys, don't forget, I think there's an after party. And here, let me see. Do we have an after party link? Is there an actual after party place that we play? Let me just see. Do we have a link? I know it's going to be hosted through BeLive. I do know that. Can anybody post it in any one of the 1,000 comments? No, there's no 1,000 comments. But if you can, post it, watch it. We're going to be there, guys. And as always, thank you so much. Guys, I'll see you in a couple minutes.